Hello, welcome to the Asian Dating Podcast, everybody. Today I have matchmaker Ella Scaduto. She is the owner of Smoky Matchmaker based in Knoxville, Tennessee. And Ella is a professional certified matchmaker and science-based relationship coach. Her background is in psychology and research. She is fascinated by human behavior and interaction, particularly when it comes to finding that someone special. So, Ella, welcome to the show today. How are you doing?
Hi, good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I know you've been matchmaking for a long time, and obviously you have a lot of experience. And today we're going to talk about, I guess, kind of your niche, like the clientele that you excel in and do really well. And that is clients who are 55 and up, right? Like tell me a little bit about them and how are they different than other singles?
Yeah. Yeah, I love my mature clients, right? As I would call them. They're actually a lot of fun, and I feel like, like I always meet my clients in person, right? Of course, most matchmakers do, and I get to talk to them, and I don't actually ask them the first half hour of what they're looking for, right? I just chat with them about the things going on in their life, their kids, and of course there's grandkids at this point and all this other stuff. I think older people are a lot of fun. They're mature, but some of them are not mature. They're like immature. I have one of them who refers to himself. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm mature, Klein. I might be older, but not mature." I'm like, "Yes, I have to agree with that one." But yeah, no, they're a lot of fun. And the difference I think between them and younger crowd is that there's different, it's like a different chapter in life, right? So they're not looking for the same kind of things that the younger people do. They're not looking to settle down and build a house and start the kids and get a dog and all this other good stuff. They've been there, done that. So now they're like, just want to have a partner to go to Ireland or something, go to, Mexico, Cancun, run around on the beach and have a good time and have somebody by my side, do fun things and, not be lonely. I mean, loneliness is a really big thing in the older community, I would say, right? I mean, anybody could get lonely, but I hear a lot from people that come to me who are over 50 and over 60 that they have a hard time finding someone out there, right? So the common thing that I hear is that they're saying it's a young person's world, right? They're like, well, I go out to the bar and there's, younger guys there, women and men in their 30s and 40s. And it's like, I'm 65. There's nobody there for me. Right. So that's the trouble that they're dealing with. And I feel like, helping them out a little bit, finding somebody is awesome. I get a good kick, get a big kick out of it.
So where do you find mature singles to fulfill your database? Like what where are you hanging out that you find the mature crowd, the 55 and up? Like are they hiding at specific events that you can tell us?
Yes, they are. They're hiding out. So there's several different things that I do. One of them is I actually do events and I target the 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? And then I really kind of target, 40s, 50s, and 60s. So like I kind of make it to where, if somebody Googles me, they'll be like, oh, cool, this is my age group. I'm gonna go check it out. And it works. I actually have people over ages of 50 and 55 show up and we have fun and I play games and whatever, do little icebreakers. And it's a lot of fun. And then I swear to God, it's like I have a nose for like bars and restaurants that specifically cater to older crowd, mature audience. So I go to these places. A lot of Irish bars are like that. And that's one of those spots you can find people, your age, your own age, I should say. If you're looking for somebody in their 60s, that's where they are, on certain nights, not, they don't go out on like Friday and Saturday, right? So because it gets saturated with younger crowd, and then that's not what they're looking for. So they're, Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're out there between 5 and 7, happy hour.
So do you just call different bars and ask them, hey, is there a certain night of the week at your establishment that the more mature crowd hang out? I mean, do different bars have that, like a different older crowd night?
I don't call. What I do, I'm a big fan of beers. So so I get out there and I like trying local beers, right? Big fan of whatever local thing. So every time I'm out anywhere, I go and I make friends with the bartender and I'll be like, hey, what's the crowd like on like a Tuesday night here or a Monday? What's your crowd? On what day do you think, the 50s and 60s come by, and hang out. And the bartender's like, oh yeah, let me tell you, Tuesday we have this, and then on Wednesday we have this, and Thursdays we got trivia. They're big fans of that, and then this and this. They'll give me like the whole schedule, right, for the whole week. And then it repeats the following. So I kind of, make a mental note of where the cool spots are, where everybody hangs. And, of course, you want to be meeting people like that, the ones that are getting out there and doing things and living their life. I mean, they're single or not, it doesn't matter, but they're out there, they're, enjoying their time instead of sitting home and watching Grey's Anatomy once again.
So when you're matchmaking the folks who are a little bit more mature, what are some things that they're looking for now that was not important to them when they were in their 30s or 40s? Like what is the common denominator that your mature crowd are looking for?
So the big thing, and I think it's across the border of all the ages, is the financial stability. So at this point, my people, they don't want to be maybe seeing somebody or being hanging with somebody who's still renting or something, right? So that's a big thing. A lot of times I hear what they would say is that, well, at this point of my life, I feel like you should have all of your ducks in a row, right? Your house is paid off, your car is done, and the kids are out, the dog is whatever, things are taken care of. So now they're like, let's focus on me, let's focus on us. And what can we do together? And not like, let's focus on paying off this mortgage, for another how many years. So the financial stability is important. Somebody being really nice. Beliefs, religious beliefs, I've noticed that I feel like it might be across the border. The older we get, the more religious we get. Now you start looking into spirituality. I don't know if it's like maybe somewhere in the back of the brain and lizard brain, we're like, oh man, the clock is ticking now. I gotta start believing just in case. You never know. So there's the religious belief is in there. It's pretty important. And really very important is still being active. So when I talk to my guys, they're always, and women too, they're always looking for somebody who's still active. They're like, well, I get it, we're in our 60s and 70s and whatever. We're not going to be running a marathon. But how about a hike? How about, travel, do something that takes you out of the house and gets you in front of people and hanging out and meeting new folks. So active, financial, and religion. Very.
So what if I'm like 55 and I'm still renting? How would I make myself sound better and more stable financially? Like, are you saying that the people that you have, all your clients that sign up with you, they are very stable, have a house, but what if they don't? How would they tell you how great they are if they're not a homeowner yet?
So in that case, I would say, if there is no financial stability, right? So that's a different conversation. If there is, then you could just be like, I just don't want to own anything, right? Like I just want to live out of my luggage and be at the moment's notice to go travel somewhere. So I don't want to rent because I could be in a different state next time. I get bored with this one, I'm gonna go somewhere else. So that's a good trick you could do, I suppose. It's not even like the owning the home is not, it's the financial stability to it. It's the ability to, do something like that. There's plenty of people that, move from one state to another. And a lot of times, when you're 65, 70, 75, like, do you really want to sign up for a mortgage that's like 30 years? Like, probably not, right? So you might want to rent. But
Yeah.
then, if I ask like, well, why are you renting? Do you like, is this like a thing, or, what's there behind it? And it's just like, it's just, I don't want to, well, people would say that they don't want to just have another mortgage for 30 years. So been there, done that. Now
Yeah.
they're just doing their own thing.
So
Yeah.
I feel like when you're doing online dating or dating through a matchmaker, like you better have your answers rehearsed or at least know what you're going to say. So when you're asked these kinds of questions, you will be articulate and you can explain it to people, right? Because what if I'm not active? Like, what if I'm 60 and I am more indoorsy? You would just match me up with someone who's more indoorsy and not so active then? Like, do you come across some people in their 60s that just aren't that active anymore?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't know if I heard this one before.
Like
I mean, everybody,
inactive people are just already finding inactive people. I don't know. Like, do
I
you get that a
guess, do
lot?
they like Netflix and chill all day? I don't know. Whatever that means. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they're not active, maybe an activity kind of prompts them to not be also actively looking for anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to, they're all like, "Oh, I'm active, in whichever way." And
Yeah.
active could be different things. You don't have to be running a marathon. You could just be taking walks with your dog, get yourself a little chihuahua or something that walks by itself. And there, you're active. Congratulations, do something.
So the clients that you work with who are 55 and up, are they really just looking for people in their cities then? Like, are they more, they just want to stay put? They're not really looking for people all across the US at this stage? Is that kind of who you cater to, the Knoxville residents?
Yeah, so that's interesting. I had couples in Florida that I've matched, and they were like 9 hour difference, 9 hour drive difference. And he came by and he flew and drove and whatever, and then she went up there, and they're married now and everything. So it depends what people say. Like sometimes they're open to a further location, and they'll actually drive, and they'll tell me, they're like, hey, if it's a nice person and we click and connect, the guys are like, yeah, I'll drive, it doesn't matter, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like right here in the neighborhood kind of thing, but they're open.
Do you think it's easier for men age 55 and up to meet a woman? Like men have more options out there or women have more options out there? What do you think?
I feel like men are like wine, they just get better and better with age. Yeah, I think guys 55 is like prime rib. They're perfect because I think they're in the market, especially if they're financially secure, they're in somewhat good shape. Good shape could be anything, right? It doesn't mean that they're skinny. And
Right.
I'm in Tennessee. Men are not skinny, right? They're like big giant dudes, and everybody's got a beard and everything. They all look like loggers or something. Um, I mean, I think that's attractive in men. I'm not a huge fan of like really skinny guys. So guys that are 55 and a good shape, and I mean like health wise, right? Not shape, could be round as a shape, right? They
Right.
could be good shape and be round. I've seen that. At salsa lessons. And yeah, so they are like in good shape, you're financially okay, whatever the height is, hopefully you're okay, you know, on the eye. And now they're in the market for women between 35 and like 65. Because even the 65-year-old women, they want to date a guy that's 10 years younger. I constantly I hear that a lot, especially from like women above 50 a little bit. They're like, "Oh, I'm a young 52."
Right.
I'm like, "No."
So you're saying men have it easy when they're 55 and up. So the women need to really step it up, right? So what are some things that women can do to stand out from the other women out there? Because they're in high competition for the guys 55 and up.
Oh God, I don't know. I'm more of a coach for the guys. I don't really coach women too much. I have no idea. I don't know. What do you think? Hold on, I gotta think about it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, if there's more competition out there with the women, whether it's online or through a matchmaker, this is, I guess, our opportunity to tell women, like, hey, if you want to meet a great guy because you have a lot of competition, you better make sure your wardrobe looks good, you better make sure your photos look great, like you have to pay special attention to detail to maybe stand out, right? Because I think there are more single women out there in the US age 35 and up than single men. So single men have it easy. Like I feel like guys just have a total advantage online at that age group.
I feel like if people wouldn't, anybody, any age, if people wouldn't go ahead and like get on and on their own way and make things complicated, it would be easier. Like, I hear a lot women be like, and they're good looking women, they're, their 30s or 40s, they're like, oh, there's no men out there, where are all the men? And then I swear to God, it's funny. It makes me laugh every time. And then I would throw an event, right, for singles locally. And I have all these guys that sign up and like two women. So then it's like, there it is.
Right.
It's right here. Like you've been asking. I literally put them all in one room. All you have to do is show up. Right. So I think people just kind of make things more complicated or, something else. And then, I've told women many times, and I'm like, I'll even do an example. Right. Like I would be talking in a bar somewhere and they're like, oh, it's so hard to get a guy and for whatever. And I'm like, it's not. You could, as a woman, I think it's easy. You could just stand up in a bar, raise your hand, and be like, who wants to come home with me? Right. There'll be at least two or three guys. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll go home with you, whatever. And that's, those are like easy things. I don't recommend being,
Yeah,
easy going.
but
But
you're outgoing and you can talk to anybody. Of course it's easy for someone like you to start talking to a guy, but what if someone is a little bit shyer? Like what if she's more of an introvert, like, and she goes to a bar? Like how would you suggest that she gets the guy's attention and to put herself out there? Like
you
any
get yourself a friend, who's chatty, maybe a coworker or whatever. That friend does not need to be single. It's actually probably better if she's not single, so she's not immediate competition. You go to a bar together, and you put your phone away, you let your guard down a little bit, right? I feel, who said it? Oh, Arlene said it the best. She's like, you got to drop the guard down because the guys that you don't want, anyways, right? Let's not call them names or whatever, but those guys don't care about your guard, right? The guard only protects you from the good guys that you do want to attract, but they'll see the guard and they'll stay away. So drop the guard down a little bit, relax, put your phone away, bring your friend, do something chatty, involve a neighbor, right? You sit at the bar, don't go and sit at the table at the bar because no guy is gonna have enough cojones to approach a table of girls sitting at it, right? So, but at the bar, sure, they'll approach. Sit at the bar, be open, keep your body open, I think, to kind of invite somebody to come in and say hi and involve a neighbor. If you see a cute guy that you like or whatever, cute, not cute, we all have our own ice cream taste, right? You see a guy you like, just ask him anything. Ask him what's a good drink here, what kind of beer he would recommend or anything silly like that to kind of get the conversation started, right?
okay.
And men are always receptive and gosh, they're happy, they get the attention, they're happy, they'll tell you all it is to know about beers locally in this entire state, comment them on their beard or something, they'll be
Okay,
happy.
so someone who's a little bit shyer, she
Mm-hmm.
should get a chatty friend, preferably a
Yeah.
married one, and
Yes.
bring her along, kind of like her wing woman. And don't sit at the table, sit at the bar. So you're forced to see everybody that comes up and you could talk to them and just put your phone away. I like that. Those are great tips for someone to do. So, okay, okay. So what else? So what if it's a older gentleman who's a little bit shyer? What should he do?
For all of my, well, actually, I do that with all of my clients, right? I get them on, and obviously, as a matchmaker, I feel like main clientele that we do get are people that are, on the shy side, that kind of they don't want to do it themselves. They're either really busy professionals and they just don't have the time, or they don't want to do it themselves because they are shy. So they come to us matchmakers, and here we are being all chatty and all approachable and whatever. So what I do is I talk to my guys and gals, and I'm like, okay, well, tell me like 4 or 5 things you like to do. And then, okay, so we're down to 1 or 2, right? You like to go on a walk and you go to the gym. Okay, great. Now, and then I go like, okay, well, think of like 5 things that you would love to do. You have never done it, but would love to do, right? Do you like, finger painting or whatever, right? Something like that. Never done it, would love to do it. It's on the bucket list or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so we made a list. Now let's sit down and find the group on Meetup, right? And I love Meetup because Meetup has a group for everyone and anyone under the sun, right? Whatever you can think of, Meetup probably has a group for it in your area for sure. So then I'm like, okay, well, here's 5 things. Let's find a group. Okay, let's look at all these groups. This one seems more active than this one. Like you just, all you have to do is look at, response of like attendees per event. So if you have like 2 people that responded, probably not the group for you, right? Maybe you go to the one where there's like 20, 30 people that respond. You don't want to go too crazy, not like 100 people
Right.
that come to an event, because then that gets, overwhelming for a beginner. Like little groups, and then go and do this is fun. You already enjoy doing it, then you'll get to mingle with people, and they're not necessarily all single and available, but you'll get your practice on, right? You get your mojo back on of chatting up strangers and having fun, enjoying yourself, and then it'll be easier. And then you can just talk to people at Starbucks or, whatever, coffee shop while you're in line. Best starter, I think, you complain about the line being long. People are incredible at how much they love to complain, right? I think it's in our human nature. We just like to complain. Even like really happy people love to be like, oh yeah, this line is totally way too long, and that's it. Now you have a conversation, right?
Okay.
Little things like that, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, those are all great ideas. I feel like if you're a man who's 55 and up and you probably don't like doing the online dating, but you can go out in public and meet people, just talk to everybody in a coffee line, in a Costco line, anywhere you're going, getting gas or wherever that may be, just put yourself out there. And, even if you're at the grocery store, if you're picking out some, I don't know, tomatoes or whatever, you can always ask a cute woman who doesn't wear a wedding ring if she, how do you pick out tomatoes? Like, just ask her. It's like people just don't ask people questions anymore and don't make small talk anymore. And, even
Right.
for me, I go into grocery stores and I talk to people like just random comments about, a watermelon or random fun facts. And people are looking at me like, wow, why is she talking to me? It's like our society is so different. And I challenge people out there, the listeners, if you're single, every time you go to a grocery store, just talk to 2 random strangers about something, like such a good chance to ask a cute guy a question or advice, you just never know where it'll lead.
Oh my God, it's so good. I love it. I'm so glad you brought up grocery store, because like, another thing, women are like, oh, what are all the cute guys? I'm like, okay, so how you know where the cute guys are, right? They're still men, they like to eat, they don't like to cook. Most single guys won't really cook, right? So what do? They go and to the grocery store and they go into the aisles where the things are almost ready. They just need to be heat it up maybe. So I'm like, go in that aisle because that guy is guaranteed single, and then be, like helpless little thing. You could be an alpha female, but you can act a little helpless, and men love to help out. They
Right.
really do. And just be like, could you like help me reach this whatever this thing off the shelf, and they'll be happy. And then you're like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Or do you shop for this thing often, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Now you're in conversation.
Right. Yeah.
And then guys will obviously pick up on that. So hopefully they'll have enough courage to, continue on the conversation. But yeah, you can meet people anywhere, really.
So if a woman likes a guy at the grocery store that she thinks he's cute, how would she go about letting him know that she's single and available and is open to getting picked up on? Do you know what I mean? Like, how would, in that short time of interaction, how would you, if you were single again, let a guy know that you're interested in him?
Oh God. Geez, I don't know. I haven't been single in so long. I have like all this great advice, but put me on the spot like this. I don't know. Um, I mean, again, the same stuff. You just kind of engage, and I think, there's a lot more about our body language than we can actually put in words. Like even if you're not super sociable, and it's hard to put things in words, it's hard to kind of get your thoughts and ideas into words, then body language comes into play, right? So being, a little open, maybe hopefully chat him up a little bit, whoever the guy is, again, was the reach the thing off the shelf or something like that, ask those things, maybe touch him on the shoulder, be like, oh, thank you so much, stuff like that. All of those things are like immediate, in my opinion. I think I could be wrong, I don't know. I feel like it's an immediate invitation for the guy to like continue to chat and have a feeling where like, oh, she's very, open and chatty and smiley, right? Like I would hate to say like women should smile more because I feel like I'm gonna be like the anti-feminist or whatever, but we really should, like we as of all of us, we really should, and it brings the soul out, the happy feelings. And I feel like the more you smile, the happier it makes you. It like works backwards as well. Like just being chatty and like touch the guy, the whole touch, that's very powerful and serious. That has all messages on its own behind that. And just kind of be open, and I feel like that would lead the man to believe that she's interested to chat with him. Otherwise, why would she be smiling and talking to him, right? Like, I'm not single. I don't go to the store. I don't ask guys to reach for anything. I don't touch anyone. I don't smile at anybody. I'm like, I'm in my own thing. I don't even like shopping. I'm just here to grab like 5 things. I'm going to walk away with 15 because I'm ADD. I'm going to get a tire and something else, and I'm going to get out of here, right? Like, I'm on a mission. But I'm not single. I'm not looking. If I was single, maybe I'd spend a little extra time going between aisles of canned food or something.
I agree. Like we should spend some more time chatting people up and ask a guy for advice. Like, oh, can you grab that for me? And then he grabs it. You could say, oh, have you had this before? And then you just start asking questions, and hopefully the guy knows like, wow, that's unique, she's asking me questions. And then she can also say, oh, do you shop here a lot, like whatever. Or she can say, do you shop here a lot? Oh my gosh, that sounded totally like a pickup line. And just kid around that way. And you can also say, wow, that sounded like a pickup line. Yeah, because it was just or whatever. Like just show your personality and stuff. Yeah, I too am not single. I too don't go to grocery stores asking guys to help get stuff for me, but I can see being single, like you should maybe go to the grocery store and plan to spend extra 20 minutes in there and go up and down the aisles. And who knows, like if a guy eats healthy and you're shopping at a healthy aisle, like you should hit him up, see what happens, I don't, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, gosh, is easy example, right? Right before the, November conference thing, I was out shopping at Costco, and I'm standing there, and I don't do shopping. My husband does the shopping. I don't like shopping in general for anything. So I'm standing there in front of this freezer of like this chicken nugget thing, it's like ready to go and whatever. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna have two teenagers at the house for like a week. I gotta make sure they don't starve to death, right? Or like eat my dog or something. So I'm just staring, I'm staring at this fridge, right? At this giant freezer filled with chicken things in packages. And this lady like rolls up with her own car and she's like, oh man, you gotta check this one out because it takes like this and this. It takes like 10 minutes. You put it in the fryer, blah, blah, blah. We had like a 20-minute conversation about freaking chicken nuggets with the stranger who just saw me staring at the abyss of chicken nuggets. Right. Then she's like, oh, let me come help you out. And I was like, totally, hell yeah, thank you. I have no idea. I don't shop. My husband does, but he's busy doing other stuff. So here I am. So like if the two strangers could do it, you can totally do it with a stranger of an opposite sex, right? So if you see a guy staring at the abyss of chicken nuggets, it just be like, hey, here's this bag. It's delicious. You put it in the fryer, you do this, you do that, you add some whatever. There's a conversation.
You just said that a woman did that to you. So it's like women should actually do that to other women just to get practice at speaking to strangers and kind of guiding them and giving them advice. I think that's a great idea. Who knows? That woman that said that to you, maybe she's practicing, she's just going around practicing doing this. So maybe when a cute guy comes around, she's going to be ready and know how to act in front of him, right? I mean, yeah, all great ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, Ella, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but tell me how people would be able to find you. Of course, I'll include all of your information in the show notes, but tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and kind of what your specialty is.
Okay. Well, I'm the matchmaker. I'm also a dating coach. I help out. Usually I have like divorcees or widows. And I mainly coach men, not too much with women. I coach them a tiny little bit, but that's not my specialty per se. I do know some matchmakers that are phenomenal at it, and God bless them. Somebody's got to do it. I coach guys, so I take guys out shopping and I redo their whole outfits if it needs to be done. And I've actually done it recently, and he's so happy. He like called me 5 times, and he's like, "Oh, everybody's giving me compliments." I'm like, "Yes, good, go. I'm glad you're happy. That's awesome." So yeah, sorry, I'm going off track. So yeah, I do some coaching with older clients and with younger guys. I take younger guys actually ouch to bars and I do the whole wing woman situation with them. So that's a lot of fun. And then I do the old-fashioned matchmaking where they just show up to the date and I do everything before and after, the usual thing. Yeah, that's about it. That's what I do.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today on the Asian Dating Podcast. And ladies out there, I'm always looking for Asian single women across the US or anywhere in Asia. So if you're single, I would love for you to register and fill out a profile with me at twoasianmatchmakers.com. And Ella, thank you so much for joining me today. And I will talk to you later. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.